I think it's important for people in the spiritual space to be careful with, especially if you don't have a rigorous physics background, to be careful about how we apply, quantum mechanics to, spiritual study. It is undeniable that a lot of what quantum theory is continually revealing so aligns with what the ancient sages and mystics intuited through these Gnostic systems of self-realization and beyond. It's interesting, too, that Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the founder of Transcendental Meditation, had a master's in physics. There's something there because, again, when you understand physics, just even in a very cursory sense, you really understand the fundamental dynamics of everything, whether it's how a gymnast propels herself off the vault, how a singer sings coloratura, or how a golfer hits the ball. It's a lot of the same principles. You see this in asana, or you see this in Pilates, or any physical activity. There's only so many forms the body can take. And then we can, do it on a Cadillac, or we can do it horizontal, or we can do it vertically, or you just get at it from different angles. But really, there's only so many different ways that we can approach something. There's only so many ways you can train the body, but then there's so many different ways that you can make the body dance or sing, right? There's so many permutations rhythmically with regards to movement or dance that the physics can take. And so everything is, as hippy-dippy as it sounds, is energy. And so when I get questions about what's the Vedic purview on potential, or what's the Vedic purview on kriya and karma, we can talk about what those words specifically mean in the Vedic tradition, but for me, it's very important to always go back to it's all essentially energy. And just like in physics, how you can have potential energy, and you can have mechanical energy, and you can have kinetic energy, and you can have electrical energy. It's neither created nor destroyed. It's all just ever alchemizing and changing form based off of the conditions of the given moment, or what other forces are working on it. Just like you can have a car at the top of the hill, it has the potential energy and it starts to go down. It doesn't need to accelerate and press on the gas to go faster. The way that gravity starts to work on it, that potential energy transfers to that mechanical form of energy. And so potential, let's just focus there, it's not something that we have to feel worried about developing or laden with. Yes, it is incumbent on us to develop ourselves to that concept of Yogastha Kuru Karmani, which comes out of Bhagavad Gita, Vedic thinking, that established in being, established in myself, my pure awareness of cosmic intent, I then perform action. And so yes, there are ways in which a conscious life is a life where we are attuning and priming the body, pulling the bow back so that when the moment strikes, we can release it with great accuracy, precision, and efficacy. But that said, it's not like we have to feel like our potential was ever wasted or lost, or that we directed it at the wrong thing. Again, in the final analysis, from a cosmic Vedic perspective, nothing is unfortunate. That every misstep was actually just a lesson and a beautiful little twirl or twist in the cosmic dance, so to speak. And the same thing with, someone recently asked a question about the relationship between, kriya and karma, or you could put it as this idea, which my teacher has talked about in certain courses, of samskara versus smriti. Samskara meaning like an impression. It's where our English word for scar comes from, versus a smriti, which is like a fond remembrance. And the same instance, the same thing that could be seen as a wound or as a traumatic event, can also be seen as this deeply inspiring or catalyzing event in our life. Again, based off of what lens are you putting on? Are you putting on the consciousness of a victim or of someone who has been scarred by something? Are you viewing it through the lens of opportunity, of growth, mindset, etc.? So I think about that a lot because I think potential is something that in previous parts of my life I felt laden with. Again, I had to justify my existence in the world, and I had to achieve great things and cultivate, my talents to whatever degree I could to blah, blah, blah. It's not about, of course, the end result of whatever, achievement we think we're getting through that. It is the process of development, and that potential, it might be relevant for the potential to be musical or performative, and then you are actually somehow able to take all of those skills you developed there, and they support you later in a law career, or they support you later as a teacher or a parent. We don't learn anything in isolation. So potential is really just energy, and it's ever reformulating itself if we are aligned with nature, with ourself, with the cosmic intent of the moment, it's ever just realigning with whatever is necessary in that given circumstance.